Good.
Okay, so we can start with the presentation. Okay, so in the last class we had left plastic, so we'll continue with that. Okay. Now, we know that plastic is having wide applications in our day-to-day lives, right? So, plastic is used in making the use and throw pens. Mm, it is used in making polythene bags. It's used in making the water bottles and furniture items. Okay, it's used in making a lot of things that we see around us. Okay, it has wide applications. So plastics are preferred over other materials. For example, if you take the example of wood. Now wood is used as furniture. Okay, we use wooden furniture, but nowadays plastic furniture is also widely used. Can you tell me why plastic is preferred over wood? Why plastics is preferred over wood?
It's easy to shift here and there if you want to move the furniture.
Okay, so we can say that plastic is more portable than wood. Okay, it's easy to carry. Okay, it's light in weight also, we can say. So it can be easily shifted from one place to the other. Okay. Now we also have these glass bottles, but nowadays we are preferring the plastic bottles. Why do we do so? Why we prefer plastic over glass? Yes, Janvi.
Because plastics are easier to make than glass, and they're also
Okay.
lightweight and easier to carry and do not break.
Yes. Okay. So plastic has a lot of advantages. Okay. Plastic has a lot of advantages. It is light in weight. It can have different colors. Okay. And it is portable. It is also cheaper as compared to wood and glass. It's cheaper. So these are some of the advantages of plastics. Can you all tell me what is the disadvantage of using plastics? What disadvantage plastics cause? Yes, Janvi.
It pollutes the environment and it's not biodegradable.
Pollutes the environment.
It's not
Okay.
biodegradable.
Yeah. It's not biodegradable and it pollutes the environment. What type of pollution does it cause? Sakshi, can you tell us what kind of pollution plastic causes? What does it pollute? Environment in the sense? Okay. Anyways, Anishraya, can you say what kind of
Soil pollution.
pollution does? Okay, yes. So plastics can cause soil pollution because it is non-biodegradable. We'll discuss later about what are the kinds of pollutions it causes. Okay. All right. Now there are two types of plastics. That is thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics are the plastics that can easily bend on heating. Okay, when you bend these plastics, it can be easily molded into different other shapes. So they are called the thermoplastics. They can easily be bent on heating. You can see the picture, the polythene bags. Okay, the water bottles, that is the use and throw bottles, the single-use plastics. Okay, most of the single-use plastics are thermoplastics. They can easily bend on heating. Okay, and thermosetting plastics are the plastics that once it is made, it cannot be softened on heating. It will not be softened by heating. Most of the furniture and the things that we use in the kitchen, the baskets and all these tubs and all, okay, so they are the thermosetting plastics. They cannot easily be softened on heating. They are the hard plastics. Okay, so they are the thermosetting plastics. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
What are thermoplastics and what are thermosetting plastics?
Yes.
Okay. We'll move on to the next slide. Okay. Now, what are the characteristics of plastics? We already discussed that they are light in weight, they are portable, okay, and they are cheaper. They are also durable. Durable, that means they remain as such for a long period of time. They don't get destroyed easily. Okay, they do not break like the glass. So they are durable. They can be as such for a longer period of time without getting spoiled. Okay. And what are the negative aspects? They are non-biodegradable and they cause plastic pollution. Now, plastic pollution can be caused not only on the soil, it can be caused in water, it can be caused in the air. How? When you burn plastic, lot of poisonous gases or toxic gases are released into the air. Okay? And that is very, very harmful for the health of animals as well as humans. So, air pollution is also caused by plastic, and it also causes water pollution. Tons and tons of plastic are thrown into the water bodies. Okay, when they are thrown, what happens? It affects the aquatic life because aquatic animals, they may sometimes consume the plastic that we throw into the water bodies, into the rivers and all. Okay, so when they consume it, aquatic life is destroyed. Aquatic life is hampered by consuming the plastic. Okay, so it causes three types of pollution, that is soil pollution, water pollution, and air pollution. So it is harming the environment in all ways. Okay, that is the negative aspect of plastic. Next slide. As we discussed before, that burning of plastic releases toxic gases into the environment and that causes air pollution. Okay, and it is also non-biodegradable, so it takes millions of years to decompose. So it causes soil pollution in that way, and it also affects the aquatic life when a lot of plastic is dumped or is thrown into the river, into the water bodies. So it also affects the aquatic life in that case. All right, next slide.
Ma'am, I have a question. Um,
Yes.
you said that like one-time use plastics are usually thermoplastics, right? So why
Yeah.
don't we just use the same plastic to make the new, like again, the thermoplastic again? Like it's thermoplastic, right? It can be
Yeah.
molded again. So
Yeah. It can be molded. That's why the water bottles that we use. Okay. If you give it for recycling, it will be recycled, but we throw it away. So that is not good. Okay. Since we throw it away, it is unable to be recycled, and that is how it harms the environment. Okay. Whereas if we give it for recycling, because this can be only done by recycling. Okay.
yes,
Single use plastics can be made into new plastics only by the method of recycling. And we have to give it for recycling, then it will be recycled. But if we throw it, then it harms the environment in that case. Okay. All right. Next slide. Okay. Now, what are the things that we should follow in order to reduce this plastic pollution? Because plastic pollution is a threat, okay, to the world nowadays. So, what are the things that we can? What are the measures that we can take so as to reduce or prevent plastic pollution? We cannot prevent plastic pollution. Okay, it is very difficult because um, plastic forms a major part of our lives nowadays. Okay, so we cannot completely prevent it, but yes, we can reduce the pollution to some extent. Okay, now we have to follow the 5R principle. What are the 5Rs? The first one is refuse. We need to refuse single use plastic like the polythene bags, the use and throw pens, the plastic bottles or the mineral water bottles that we are using. Instead of that, what we can do? Can anyone suggest? If we are refusing the single use plastic, there are also some other single use plastic like knives and forks, not knives. There is a forks and the spoons that is used during any dinner party or something.
There are also
The
knives
glass
which are used for
knife,
cake cutting in which come in cake
cake cutting. Yeah. Okay. So what are what are we supposed to do if we are refusing the single use plastic? What can be done? Um, what can be done in order to refuse this? Because we need something to do our work, right? All these single use plastic we are using, but what can be used as an alternative then?
Cloth.
Okay, instead of polythene bags we can use cloth bags. Very good. Then any other thing?
It depends on what we're using. If we're using forks and spoons, then we can use metals and other options.
Yes.
And yeah, there are.
Okay. So we can use metal spoons, okay? The steel spoons. Okay. Now, the next one is reduction of plastic, okay? We have to reduce the amount of plastic that we are using, okay? How do we reduce the amount of plastic? How can we reduce the amount of plastic that we are using? By
Um,
yeah, instead of taking a polythene bag from every vendor, we can use cloth bags, okay? We can use paper bags for clothes. What else? How else can we reduce the use of the plastic?
Not to buy bottles, which are plastic bottles, and that just carry your own.
Okay, carry your own bottle. Even if you're using plastic, it can be refilled, not a single use plastic in that case, okay? What happens in case of a single use plastic? We use it and then we dump it somewhere. So if we, even if we have a plastic bottle, we can refill it, okay, we can refill it again. So in that way we can reduce the use of plastic. We can also buy things with less packaging, okay? Because the wrappers that is the chocolate wrappers, or we get cakes and we get biscuits, we get Maggie and all these things, the wrappers are also made up of plastic, okay? Everywhere, all the packaging, most of the packaging is done with the help of plastics. So we can reduce the amount of plastic by reducing the amount of we can buy something which is having less packaging. All right. Now the next one is reuse. How can we reuse the plastic? Very simple. Who will tell me? We reuse means using it again. So how can we reuse the plastic? Any idea? Okay. Suppose we have an oil can. Okay, an oil can. Now an oil can. You all have seen those 5 liter oil cans, plastic ones. Instead of dumping it, we can use them as planters. We can use them as a pot. Okay. Now the plastic bottles. Okay, instead of throwing it away, it can be used to make any other decorative item. What else can we do? Then we can use plastics like some containers, like you know, some plastic containers can be used to store something in the kitchen. So in that way, we can reuse the plastic. Okay. If it is not a single use plastic, we can reuse it again and again. We can use it for different purposes. So that is the meaning of reusing. Then what do we do? Recycling. Recycling, reusing we can do at our homes, but recycling is done it is done in industries. Okay, you have to give your plastic items. It has to be recycled. It has to be melted, and new plastic has to be formed. So that is recycling. So whatever cannot be reused, like the single use plastic, as I told, the single use plastic cannot be reused again. We cannot use it because the plastic quality is not that good. Okay, and with whenever we use the plastic again and again, the plastic degrades. The plastic degrades, okay, and it mixes with our food and water, and that is not good for our health. Okay, if we are consuming plastic is not good for us. We cannot digest it, and it's going to be harmful for us. So we should not use a single use plastic, but yes, we can recycle them. We can send it to recycling units. Yes, Janvi.
Not all plastics are recyclable. Like out of the seven, only two are completely recyclable. There,
Like,
um, just a second. PET and
yeah,
HDPE are recyclable, and many of them are not recyclable. So you
yeah.
can't recycle everything that you can't reuse.
No, not everything, but yes, some, like the water, the mineral water bottles and all, they can be recycled. Okay, we can send them for recycling. Yeah. Okay. Then the fifth one is to rethink. Means to rethink about the products that we buy. Okay, to rethink before buying anything, we should think about the packaging. As I told you before, that we can think about what is the packaging and what amount of waste it will generate, what amount of plastic waste it is going to generate, and uh, we can avoid buying something which something which we don't need. Okay, we can avoid buying that. So that is the meaning of rethink. So these are the 5 R's or 5R principle that we must follow in order to prevent the plastic pollution. Is that okay? Did you all understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next slide. All right. Preparation of the bioplastic was done in the last class. Okay. So with this, we end last time's topic and we'll move on to the next topic.